Welcome to consequences of. Hey, we about to record, okay?
Okay.
Not to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you ain't here, don't even talk. You got it?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wait till they're done right. I want to.
We'll wait till you're done rummaging through that chip bag. Are you done?
No.
Put some on a paper towel.
We are. I'm done.
All right, sit down. Y'all don't be quiet. Y'all be quiet. Don't smack too much. That. All right. Welcome to Consequences of Our Culture podcast. I'm Randall,
I'm Stephanie.
and today we will be talking about the consequences of not being black enough. And I know what you're thinking. Like, if you're one thing, aren't you it? Aren't you, like, if you're black, aren't you black? If you're white, aren't you white?
Exactly.
If you're green, aren't you green?
Yeah.
But apparently, to some people, there's caveats, and people use those to be rude to other people. Did I introduce? Did I say I'm Randall?
Did we? I don't even remember.
Okay. So let's get to it.
I'm just off.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on.
You got
set
a lot.
today.
Yeah, so it's a dog right here. The kids over there. Fiance's right there. So yeah. But Steph, have you ever been told that you're not black enough?
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because it's just like, yeah, of course I have. Living in the South and talking like this.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, where to start? Like, let's go to the beginning, okay?
Beginning. Let's go all the way back.
Being a military kid, my mom was in the Air Force. My dad was in the Air Force for a while as well, but he didn't retire like my mom did. And but yeah, we being a military kid, moving around a lot, living on military bases, and which I think that's not the only contributing factor to why I carry myself the way I do, or act the way I do, or whatever. Is also just having a mother who's first generation. I guess she's kind of first generation. Anyway, she's Jamaican, and her side of the family is Jamaican. So, just also the Jamaican culture, growing up in a household with that, like having to speak a certain way. Like, we do not speak, the African American vernacular English. we don't, you got to speak the King's English. You got to speak
What's
a certain way.
What's the African American vernacular?
Ebonics. Listen,
Ebonics.
But, we can't call it that anymore. It's not Ebonics anymore. It's called AAFVE.
Mm.
So,
do I speak
because it's, yeah, you do.
Am I proficient?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, you are proficient. Because it really is a legit language when, there's a whole thing behind it, but I'm not qualified to talk about that. Because I really don't know I only had like one African American class in college, but anyway, I think culturally, I'm, with the way that I speak and the way I carry myself, it's always been a struggle with trying to connect with other black people, I should say really kids. As an adult, it's not nearly as bad, and I think it's because of maturity levels in others.
Right.
Sure, I've grown too, but I haven't really changed too much. It's really that I think culturally, black folks are realizing that we are not a monolith and that we all have different experiences, that just because we are the same skin folk, we're not all kinfolk, like, And although I like to think that I am kinfolk, I love my people, and but yeah, it's always been a struggle. Always been, called white girl or Oreo. I'm black on the outside and white on the inside, and never been black enough. Just the type of music I like to listen to everything. I love R&B and rap. That's like number one. But also I like punk music. I like I'm trying to think what else I like. I mean, everything.
Country, rock,
some
and roll.
country. I like rock. Some rock. I'm mostly an R&B and neo soul gospel person. But perceptions, like people just assume that when you speak a certain way, like, oh, you talk white, and I even had when I first moved here to Alabama, I was going to Carver High School. And that was a culture shock. If you know, you know. But I remember somebody asking me, like, is your mama or your daddy white? And I'm like, I'm darker than you.
Right, it's like look at me.
I'm like, I'm black. I'm black. I just don't speak the same way as you. That's it. Like, it's just crazy, But I think that it's sad that people think that there is one way to be black, because at the end of the day, we're all gonna be mistreated. Like I deal with the same racism as you, and why now I have to come and deal with issues from my own people.
That's true, because they already group us as one thing, all of us being the same. For us to do it to each other only makes it worse. It only spreads it. I saw something the other day, and this black woman was doing something that a white person consider outside the norm for black people. And instead of like challenging themselves, thinking that, oh, maybe I had the wrong perception of my perception of black people was too narrow.
Yeah.
They think this black person is an exception,
Right.
And that's the problem. We're doing it to ourselves. When we have these things, it's a niche to be black. Like, you have to do this. You have to have eaten this. You have to have seen this movie.
Right.
You're not black enough if you haven't done this.
Yeah.
What? You never been to so-and-so's and such? Nah, you're not black. And stuff like that's unfair, because we're excluding one another, but at the same time, we're not going to necessarily fit in with white people. They won't understand us. So like, you are getting pushed out from your own group, and you can't go to this group because, look at you, you're black. Like, no one's going to understand. You'll go through the same trials and tribulations as all the other black people, but these people are putting you through extra just because of the way you talk or the way you act or some of your experiences. And that's that's unfair in the long run.
Yeah.
But your speech thing, I feel like you said now that you're older, or you said it was worse when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And I feel like that makes sense, because when you're older, I feel it's better. It's more of a superpower. And when you was a kid, you was getting picked on. Yeah. It was more of a negative quality socially. But now that you're older, I feel like it helps you. It could help you a lot in work, being so proficient.
Yeah, I definitely. I think I had a conversation one time with some military friends of mine who are from Montgomery, and I remember telling them that, like, growing up, I wanted to be able to talk like y'all. Like, I wanted to be able to fit in with my peers and not be seen as an outcast, and they thought it was just crazy that I even ever thought that, because they were like, we'd rather be able to talk like you, because you can move in rooms that we can't. Like, you can be around like different types of people and be accepted in these rooms especially in white spaces, and and that it's it's kind of, it's just a weird feeling to have that thought, you know, like of, because I don't feel that way. Like I don't feel like I want to be accepted by white people. I don't,
Exactly.
you know, I don't speak this way because I feel like I need to, or I have to be able to move through the world and all of that. I think that I speak this way because it's just how I speak. It's just the way that I was raised, and you know, and I can't really change it. I've tried to be able to. I'm not good at the code switching. I admire people who can code switch, because then you truly can move in any room if you can code switch.
Yeah, if you're good at code
Yeah,
switching.
like then you can be with the black folks, you can be with the white folks, you can be, you know, wherever.
You can't be a mediocre code switch and like only, you know, speak good with white people and speak terrible with black people. Black people are gonna sniff that out eventually.
Oh yeah, they could
quick.
Yeah, they could tell the the fake, which is why I think as an adult it's like not as bad, because I think most black people can sense that I'm genuine, and I don't know, as kids we're all dumb as kids, you know, and then you live a little life, and you get older and you realize, okay, she's not faking it. She's not just trying to be white or whatever. It's just who she is.
Definitely in the Army, I had to work on how I spoke to people if I ever wanted to go up. I couldn't speak like I was from Montgomery, Alabama, because not necessarily just some of it was the black thing, but a lot of it was the country drawl, and a lot of times they're just gonna assume you're an idiot unless you know you're leadership or country too.
Yeah.
But so have you ever felt you were the token black person anywhere?
Yes. Yeah. I hate to say it. Now, okay, I'm trying to like phrase my thoughts here. I've learned that times when I thought that I was the token black person, I don't think that was really what was going on. I'm learning that I truly am just somebody that people gravitate towards and enjoy being around. I'm funny. I'm fun. Like, it's just, so now I know that I don't think that's really what was happening. I think that people just were like genuinely drawn to me, and that I was not hired because I was black. Maybe that helped. Maybe there's, you know, the DEI, you know, aspect to it, but I really am qualified for the positions for everything that I've, you know, any job I've had, I've been qualified. And on top of it, I have a very infectious personality that draws people in anyway. So, yes, in the past I have felt like, you know, times when I think just having low self-esteem, I thought like I don't think I'm here because I'm actually good at what I do. It's just, I think they needed a black person, and I'm, you know, so there may be an element of it. Who knows? We'll never know, you know, for sure. But yeah, I've been the only black person on in several spaces, and it felt like, you know, especially when your work is not really getting, you know, your ideas are not getting implemented, or, you know, everything you do, it feels like they're constantly like saying it, belittling it, or saying, you know, oh, okay, no, you just keep being, just go over there and be, you know, be the fun Stephanie. We didn't really hire you for, you know,
right,
for this, you know. So there have been times, yeah, for sure, that I felt like I was in, but I don't know. I'll never truly know if, because you can't compare. You know, it's not like you can take your skin off and try out and see if you were white in this same scenario, would you still be here?
Right.
So
I get that. We talked about being the only black person in a white space. Have you ever been a black person in a black space and felt like you didn't belong there or you felt uncomfortable?
Oh yeah, all through my military career, it was like that. Like I said before, it's gotten better as I've gotten older. It's nowhere near like the feeling like an outcast like I was in high school, but there still is a level of it as an adult too. When you're in all black spaces and you don't necessarily speak or act the same way as your fellow black folks in that space, there is a level of how we do. It's a little passive at times, like the little jabs, like little things they might say that remind you that you don't feel like you're not fully like with them. And I've definitely have felt like that all through, like especially being stationed, being a reservist. So I'm stationed in one place, and I'm stationed here, or I was stationed here in Montgomery. And and Montgomery folks are different. Montgomery black folks are different from any other black folks that I've encountered. There's a level of not knowing here that because a lot of folks have not left Montgomery. That's and true. Don't know a whole lot have not seen a whole lot, and so you're their first like person that black person they really come across in that way. So there's a learning curve. There's some off color comments and things that you'll have to kind of navigate, and eventually they come around. They always kind of come around, but there is still a level of like keeping you at bay, like you're over there.
There was a point that like I was like, I can't believe someone. So I was talking to this girl and she said, I'm not hood. And that's one thing, assuming like black equals hood, hood. And she said, I'm not hood. And I think my response was like, I mean, no, I'm not. And it's fine because like that doesn't make me any less of a person. It's not like, I can still beat a nigga's ass. You get what I'm saying? Like, what does that even mean? Right. Like, you want me to be impoverished and live paycheck to paycheck? Like, what are you asking for? So
she's expecting the saggy pants, and like
I think I was the first person she talked to that had their shit together, that had custody of his kids, was lived in a nice house, blase, so on and so forth, had a savings account. And in her mind, she's probably always had a perception, and it's the same perception that a lot of people have about black people. It's bad that we have this perception of each other too, and that is what we should be. Is that like impoverished people, follows the trends, poor. And, I had to tell her, like, at the end of the day, like, why would I want to be any of those things? Like, why would I want to be hood? I feel like they popularized, and it's a great thing to be from the hood and to get out and to make it and to be a great person, but why would I want to be called hood,
Yeah.
And that was really the only moment I feel like I've had like someone was necessarily saying I wasn't enough of anything as far as being black. And in the Army, like your experience in the Air Force is different because you were around like, black people. In the Army, I was the only, in my regiment, let's say there were about it fluctuates between 1,000 and 1,100 people in my regiment, and let's say I was like one of like 12 black people You know, and my platoon, I was the only black person. So at certain times, I felt like I was being watched to see like how I would handle these certain situations. Oh, we got watermelon on the table and fried chicken. What is he gonna do? You know, kind of thing. But maybe I'm pretty sure a lot of that was just me being around, you know, different people. Because at that time, I'm from Montgomery, and in Montgomery, like how you was trying to say it, it's nothing but black people, and it's a certain type of black people.
Yeah,
they're all enclaved in the Montgomery culture, and the Montgomery culture is extreme. Like it's about. I'm trying not to say the N word, but it's about as much of that as you could be. I don't know if you could be more of one, but yeah. And we're country, and you know, just strong black people. But it's a beautiful thing too.
Yeah.
But those is definitely different moving in certain spaces. And now, like, I live in Colorado. And like I'm at this point, I'm completely used to being the only black person in the room. And when I speak and how I act, I try to make us look as good as possible. Because I'm pretty sure if they know black people, what they know is what they see on TV, and they don't know a lot of ones personally. So when they meet me and see me, I am who I am. I'm well spoken, I'm smart, I'm quick, I'm witty, I'm all those things. And I'm not doing it for them, but you know, their perception of black people, if they didn't have any, would change after meeting me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I never really thought about that you were like the only black person really in your...
Yeah, no, I envy some units because I would see like a mechanic unit or something like that, and it'd be nothing but black people, and like they could communicate with each other on a level me and the other people would have to have a learning curve for. They could be like, "Oh, what up, bro? You went to the such and such and such and such," and it's nothing wrong with white people, but nothing at all. If you grew up in a predominantly, like, if a white person grew up in a predominantly white area and they go to a group of like black people, there's going to be a curve it's not necessarily a barrier, but different types of communication. Same thing if a black person grew up around a bunch of black people and goes to a space with a bunch of white people. It's something, but it'd be nice to, you know, be around people that could fully understand you. It wasn't until later and I got out, I found out a guy, I want to say he was in Seco, and he was one of the few black people there, and he was from Montgomery. I was like, man, if I knew that, me and him would have been the best of friends. Right. We would have been locked in. But it was, you know, I got out. But yeah, I think. And it's, you know, it's funny when you said about like with a white person that has been in a predominantly white area, and then they come to, and now they're like put into a situation where it's majority black. I actually, when I first joined the Air Force, when I went to tech school, it was all black folks in there, all black women actually. I mean, this class was like, I think it was just 4 of us in that particular class. But we had one white guy, and I remember he said later, like after that we've gotten to know each other. At this point, we've left tech school, we're at our different bases, and he was like, he's like, man, when I first came to the class and I saw like, dang, and it's like I'm the only white dude. All these like, it was just nothing but black women in here. He said I was nervous. He's like, I wasn't sure y'all were gonna like be nice and like accept me or whatever, and I was like, what, but it's funny that like until he said that, I never really thought about what his perspective was. It never even occurred to me that he was the only white person in our and only male and everything like in our group,
and because we all clicked immediately and got along well, and and all that. So it was like I never really thought about like the
that's one
shoe being
thing.
on the other foot.
That's one thing like certain people have to get over, like how he probably thought everyone noticed him for standing out and being different. And I think I used to think that way a lot, like, oh, I'm the only black person, everyone's like,
it's like thinking about it, and they probably aren't.
They probably aren't.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's why I was saying, like, when it comes to being like the token, sometimes I think there is a level of that. I think that is a real thing, and there are times that you are kind of just brought in as because of the color of your skin, you're just immediately seen as like cool, right? In certain all white,
gotta be cool.
In all white spaces, yes. Like there's a level of like, even like sometimes they don't even realize they'll say like, they'll come up and like I'll notice that they switch up when they talk to me. They'll like when I've been in predominantly white spaces where they may be talking to each other, two white folks talking to each other, and they're just like, talking normal, and then they come up to me and they're just suddenly, hey girl, how you doing, girl? And they just like the in the neck roll, and I'm just, and I realize they're switching up every time, and I'm like, I don't even talk like that. You saw just now, I can't do the neck thing. I'm like, what? Why are you talking to me like that? I don't even talk like that. Like there's this level of like a stereotype, just
that's
that they
true.
put on, and they just like you're just suddenly just this cool, like you're the cool black girl, you're the cool black guy, and they just see. So sometimes there really is a level of tokenism, but there also, I think sometimes it's not what we think. We feel like everybody's looking at us like, oh, they're the only black person in here, and whatever. And a lot of times people are not even thinking about it. They're not thinking about you in that way, and it's just more of a you just happen to be the only black person there, but they may not even be thinking about it like that. But we all, it's our experiences, our life experiences cause us to think that way, and and sometimes it's a level of safety too. You kind of have to come in and have your, you can't come into it just all
and
happy-go-lucky and think, whatever. You got to kind of be ready for those things.
I blame that on like, of course myself, but like the environment I grew up in, like, Montgomery, it's like really, I won't say segregated, but
it's segregated.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh, if we're at a gas station and someone says, who's the guy with the red truck, they're not gonna, they won't say that guy over there. They won't just point to him. They say the white boy right there, or the black
guy,
if it's white people, they say the black guy over there,
like, the Asian guy.
So it's always
Asian community.
A lot of times it's always your first adjective.
Yeah.
You're always, before you're anyone. Before you're an attorney, before you're a lawyer, whatever you
lawyer,
do, car salesman, doctor.
Yeah, whatever
you're the black lawyer.
Yes.
You're the black car salesman. So that's definitely the environment I grew up in.
Yeah.
So I always look at a difference. You ever been to a black party and you're like, I hope no one finds out that I'm like cultured. I'm the cool one. Like, I'm not like you guys. I got my shit together. I hope no one notices.
That's so funny because I bet, and I know for sure that so many people have thought that that's how I think, and that's kind of stuff is not how. Like, I don't
that's
come
true.
into it thinking. If anything, the first thought is like, I just hope I'm accepted.
Right. A lot of people think, like, if you're doing good,
they think you're like
better than them.
Uppity and whatever. And I'm like,
I don't think I'm better than you.
I don't even think about it like that at all.
I don't look at your situation and judge you as a person.
Yeah, I can't.
I might consider you a little irresponsible in certain areas, but who am I to judge how you spend your money and the decisions you make?
Right.
I'm a person too. We're both people on this earth, and Like, as long as you're not hurting people, you be as responsible as you want to be, or you could be as whatever area you want to go to. If you want to be, the guy who parks his car in the yard and, like, has a grill and who am I to judge? You're no better. I'm no better than you. You're no better than me.
Exactly.
We're on the same level.
Yeah, I don't feel like that. I don't have that judgy, the judgy lenses on most of the time. I think I'm just like anybody. You have your moments where you might judge somebody, like, for their life choices or whatever. But overall, just like in general, I don't walk into space and you meet and just look around like, she ain't, what's she doing? She's twerking on, oh, she's doing this or he's, whatever. Like, that's not in my nature to be that way. Just, to me, it's like, let people live, let them do live however they, and express themselves however they want. Just because that's not how I would be living my life or the way that I would be moving through the world doesn't mean that it's wrong or that, I really think that we need to move away from from like judging people or thinking that that's.
We should move away from such a narrow mindset.
Yeah.
We should embrace each other. A lot of times in Black culture, if someone wants to go against the status quo, if someone wants to do something different, we're like, oh, why are you doing that? You'll never make that. Oh, it's so negative. It's such a lack of love. We need to, like, oh, you want to be an artist? You want to paint murals? I think that's cool. Oh, you want to be a trumpet player? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like hip hop? That's fine. I like it, but whatever. You don't have to. You don't have to. There shouldn't be a checklist to be Black. You shouldn't have to, fry chicken, like hip hop, and ride 26s down 85 to be Black.
Exactly. The requirement should just be that you're Black, like the color, right? Because that's it. Because it's just, and we don't realize too that we put ourselves, because of us doing that with ourselves, we also then have the issue of everybody seeing us as a monolith. So we can't live, we can't even, it's like, okay, say a white guy may come and shoot up somewhere, and he's seen as that's what that one white guy did. He's not doing something based off of his whole race. Versus us, it's like, if we mess up, one of us goes out and does something, it's like, see, it's all Black folks. That's what they do. Y'all just want to kill Black on Black crime. And it's like, why is it that it's only Black folks to have the terms, even that phrase of Black on Black crime? I can't stand it, because I'm like, for one, you kill who's next to you. Like, you're gonna kill your, like, people who kill are in their, in their communities, and happens to be another Black person doesn't. But there's no such thing as white on white crime, Asian on Asian crime. Like, there's just no. It's just insane, and I think that gets into a whole nother topic. But but just to keep it on this, is what I'm trying to say is we are not all just, we're not a monolith. We're not just, we don't all do things the same way, and it shouldn't be. We need to stop seeing ourselves as that as well, and realize that there is a level, there is culture, and I understand, difference in culture and race and whatever, but at the end of the day, like, so let people live, let them be who they are, and and if that doesn't happen to fit your lens of what you've ever seen in your whole life a Black person do, doesn't mean that they're not Black, because they're not acting or doing things that you feel like you've only seen Black people do.
That's a good way to end it. That's what Steph's saying. It's like, it's okay to be different. It's okay, to not have seen poetic justice. That doesn't make you, less of a Black person. And so we could.
Just kidding.
We could still embrace and love each other and understand we're going through a lot of the same experiences that the other black people are going through, the negative ones. We need to embrace the positives, if the differences we have, okay? I don't eat watermelon.
I love watermelon.
I don't,
It's good, y'all. I don't know why nobody likes
It
watermelon.
doesn't make me less of a black person. I've still gotten pulled over for no reason. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've never been pulled over.
You never been pulled over?
No, I mean, I have, but I was actually speeding. Not for no reason.
Steph deserved it.
I did.
All right, so that does it. Spread love, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm Randall.
I'm Stephanie. And I heard groaning over there, Kane. You literally was like, oh.